This involuntary trembling is the sacred language you were trained to ignore. In the next few minutes, you're going to recognize the exact signs of when your body is ready to release trapped trauma, and learn to allow this movement without fear, without control, just with presence. There's a living geometry pulsing inside you, a spiral that reorganizes what remained frozen in silence. When you give back to the body the right to vibrate, something shifts. Chronic tension softens, breathing descends, the feeling of being present returns. This knowledge reconnects you to the somatic intelligence that was always there, but was culturally suppressed. The trembling you feel and try to contain carries the reorganization code that could have healed you years ago. Giving up now is choosing to remain stuck, letting the freeze decide for you. Closing this video means giving up an ancestral key that returns sovereignty to your body and to your path. What's about to be revealed isn't anywhere else in this form. You're seconds away from understanding why this movement was hidden from you. When a traumatic event exceeds your nervous system's response capacity, the energy mobilized to fight or flee becomes trapped in living tissue. Trembling isn't failure. It's the organism's natural attempt to complete an interrupted cycle. By the end of this video, you'll know how to identify the exact signs of somatic activation, and you'll learn to create the conditions for this movement to emerge with safety and reverence. You were taught that trembling is fragility, but the body knows that trembling is release. You weren't supposed to know this, because a body that recognizes itself is a body that doesn't submit. Keeping you disconnected from your own somatic intelligence keeps you dependent on external healing systems, on authorities who tell you what to do with your pain. When you recover bodily sovereignty, when you realize that the organism carries ancestral reorganization codes, you stop being a patient and become an initiate. Trembling happens in a spiral. It pulses, undulates, rotates. This geometry reorganizes muscle fibers, fascia, and also the emotional and ancestral layers that unlock successively. In the Egyptian mystery schools, in bodily initiation rituals, trembling was recognized as vibrational purification, the body expelling what no longer belongs to it. It wasn't a pathological symptom, but embodied wisdom ready to emerge. Suppressing it is interrupting the healing. Allowing it is giving back to the body the right to speak its own language. A language prior to words, prior to reason, but absolutely precise. What sustains this vision isn't only in ancient traditions, it's also in modern neuroscience. Polyvagal theory demonstrates that trembling emerges when the nervous system tries to exit the dorsal immobilization state that collapse without fight, flight, or presence, and return to ventrality, to the state of safe and responsive connection. Trembling is the physiological bridge between freeze and living presence. Epigenetics reveals that vibrational states of the body influence genetic expression, activating or silencing genes linked to inflammation and regeneration. Repeated frequency patterns reorganize apparently fixed structures. This scientific knowledge validates what body alchemy and hermeticism recognized millennia ago: spiral trembling as reactivation of the internal serpent. That primordial force sleeping at the base of the spine that, upon awakening, rises reorganizing all the body's consciousness centers. The principle of solve et coagula applies here. Dissolve what is fixed, coagulate what is dispersed. Trembling dissolves emotional and fascial rigidity. Conscious presence coagulates integration. The ancestral code finds somatic validation, and now you're going to learn to activate it. The body warns before releasing. There are subtle signs, often ignored or misinterpreted, that indicate the nervous system is approaching a point of reorganization. Deep and repeated yawning, chills that arise without thermal cause, involuntary micro-movements in the legs or arms, spontaneous tearing, tingling sensation at the base of the spine or in the lower abdomen. All of these are indications that something is emerging from freeze to the surface of bodily consciousness. They're not random, they're portals opening. Deep somatic practice doesn't force this movement, it creates the conditions for it to happen. The recommended position is simple, but loaded with meaning. Lie down with your knees, semi-flexed feet supported on the ground, hands resting on the lower part of the abdomen, exactly where the second energy center dwells, the emotional and ancestral reservoir. This posture naturally activates neurogenic trembling because it releases accumulated tension in the psoas muscles, those that connect the spine to the pelvis and that carry survival memory, archaic fear, and vital impulse. The breathing should be free, without command. You don't control, you observe. Position your attention on the axis of the spine. Feel the weight of the body against the floor. Notice the temperature of the air entering through your nostrils. Your only task is to be present, without expectation of results. Trembling isn't something you make happen. It's something you allow to emerge when the body feels there's safe space for it. Presence is the first access code. While you breathe and observe, the nervous system begins to scan the internal environment. It searches for safety signals, absence of threat, internal permission, physical or symbolic containment. If these three elements are present, the body understands it can let down its guard. It's at this moment that the first signs of activation begin to pulse. You might feel heat rising through your legs, a slight tremor in your hands, a subtle wave traveling through your spine. Don't interrupt, just witness. When the first signs of activation appear, create an anchor in a safe point. It can be a sound, the rhythm of your own breathing, soft music in the background. It can be an image, a place where you felt at peace, a memory of safety. It can be a concrete sensation, the pressure of your hands on your abdomen, the weight of your body supported on the floor. This anchor works as a return point. Whenever the intensity of the release increases too much, you bring your attention back to it. This is a natural pendulation. To pendulate means to consciously alternate between the sensation of activation and the sensation of safety. You don't remain fixed in the intensity of the trembling, nor try to avoid it completely. You oscillate, you feel the wave emerge, follow it for a few seconds, then return to the safe point. You breathe, you feel again, you return. This back and forth movement allows the nervous system to release the traumatic charge without entering collapse or overload. This is how healing happens, gradually, in layers, respecting the body's internal rhythm. When the trembling comes, and it will come, if you allow it, receive it with reverence. Don't try to control the way it manifests. It can start in the legs, rise through the spine, move the arms, shake the entire torso. It can be subtle or intense, fast or slow, silent or accompanied by involuntary sounds. None of this matters. What matters is that you don't interfere, don't suppress, don't judge. The trembling knows what it's doing. It's completing a cycle that was interrupted a long time ago. The movement happens in a spiral. It pulses, undulates, rotates. It's not linear. One contraction releases another. One emotion reveals the next. A fascial knot unties and activates another deeper one. You might feel heat, cold, emerging emotions, anger, sadness, fear, relief. Fragmented memories can arise, images without clear context. All of this is a natural reorganization. The body is expelling what no longer belongs to it, dissolving layers of tension that were frozen in living tissue. You don't need to name, understand, or explain. Just let it happen. Start with short sessions. 5 to 10 minutes are enough the first times. Trembling doesn't need to be long to be effective. It needs to be allowed. With time, as the body becomes familiar with the practice, you can extend to 15-20 minutes. The recommended frequency is 2 to 3 times per week, always respecting the internal rhythm. If on a specific day the trembling doesn't come, don't force it. The body has its own release cycles. It knows when it's ready. During the practice, you might experience intense sensations, waves of heat traveling through the body, sudden cold, chills, tingling, involuntary muscle contractions. Emotions can emerge without apparent cause: deep crying, unexpected laughter, long sighs. Old memories can arise as visual flashes or bodily sensations without clear narrative. All of this is normal. All of this is healing. The body is releasing successive layers of accumulated tension, reorganizing the neurophysiological structure, re-establishing the vital flow that was blocked. When you feel the session has come to an end, and you will feel it return gradually. Move your fingers and toes slowly, rotate your wrists, open and close your eyes gently. Breathe consciously, feeling the air enter and exit. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your abdomen. Remain like this for a few moments, acknowledging the body that just crossed through a reorganization portal. Give thanks internally. This gesture of gratitude seals the practice and signals to the nervous system that the release was received with respect. Trembling isn't technique, it's ritual, it's not method, it's reconnection. By practicing this, you're giving back to the body the right to be an oracle of itself, to speak the language prior to words, to release what was imprisoned at the moment when action was impossible. This is a practice of embodied rebellion. You're telling cultural conditioning that your body knows and that you trust. In this trust, something greater reveals itself, not as a distant promise, but as living presence pulsing right now in the center of your chest. Victoria was 58 years old when she realized she no longer felt her own legs while walking. It wasn't paralysis, it was absence. The body functioned, but she didn't inhabit it. She spent entire days with her shoulders raised to her ears, jaw locked, stomach contracted as if expecting an impact that never came. She only breathed with the upper part of her chest. She lived in a state of continuous preparation for something she couldn't name. The tension was so old that she didn't even perceive it anymore, until the day the body began to scream through pains that no exam explained. It was on an ordinary afternoon, lying on the living room floor with her knees bent, that something changed. She wasn't trying to force anything, nor seeking results. She was just observing. Suddenly, she felt a subtle tremor in her right thigh. Instinctively, she wanted to control it, stop it, get up. But this time, she didn't get up. She took a deep breath and allowed it. The trembling spread through her legs, rose through her spine, shook her entire torso. Waves of heat traveled through her body. She cried without knowing why. Then, silence. When she stood up, something had changed. It wasn't thought, it was sensation. Her legs were there. Her feet touched the ground differently, as if they had real weight. Her breathing descended to her abdomen without effort. For the first time in decades, Victoria felt she inhabited her own body, not as an idea, as living presence. The freeze she had carried for so long began to melt in that instant, and continued melting each time she allowed the trembling to return. What happened with Victoria wasn't a miracle, it was reconnection. Her body knew what to do, it just needed permission. And now you can seal this same reconnection in your own body, not as a distant story, but as immediate experience. What changed in her can change in you if you allow the spiral to complete. This reconnection that happened with Victoria can be sealed right now in your body through 3 physical markers. Breathing that descends to the abdomen without effort, jaw that softens when you're not watching, and a sensation of warmth or expansion in the center of your chest. These are traceable signs that the nervous system transitioned from freeze to living presence. You don't need to force them, just observe if they're happening. If they are, the portal has been crossed. To anchor this new state, create a minimal signal gesture. Place your right hand on your lower abdomen and your left hand in the center of your chest. Breathe 3 times, slowly, feeling the movement under your palms. Do this for 30 to 60 seconds whenever you notice the body is returning to the old tension pattern. This touch crystallizes the change. It tells the body, I recognize you, I allow you, I trust you. When there's deviation, and there will be, return to this point, hands on body, conscious breathing, internal permission. This isn't overcoming, it's sealing. And now that trembling has been allowed, something greater can be understood. Trembling was never about fixing the body. It was always about recognizing that the body already knows. It carries release codes prior to culture, prior to repression, prior to the fear of feeling. When you allow the spiral to complete, you're not learning a new technique, you're crossing through a portal that was always there, but was hidden. The sacred portal of healing that opens when you stop suppressing and start trusting the somatic intelligence that pulses in the center of your own body. Meister Eckhart wrote, God is in all things, but only where you bow does he rise. Trembling is this bowing, not in submission, but in vibrational surrender. It's the moment when you stop trying to control healing and allow it to happen through you. God isn't a distant force waiting for you to deserve it. It's living intelligence pulsing in the trembling of your spine, in the breathing that finally descends, in the portal that opens when the body is allowed. When the body vibrates in coherence, something greater manifests. Not as a future promise, as immediate presence. Victoria wasn't healed by technique. She was healed because she trusted the portal the body opened. She trusted the trembling had the right to speak, to move, to complete what remained interrupted. This trust is what transforms involuntary movement into sacred right, and you've just crossed through it. The freeze that kept you trapped for years isn't destiny, it's pattern. And patterns can be dissolved when you give back to the body the right to vibrate without censorship, without shame, without control. Trembling isn't a self-help method. It's a portal of reconnection with Source. It's the body saying, I am temple, not symptom. I am oracle, not problem. I am passage, not prison. And when you finally listen, something shifts, not on the surface, on the axis. Chronic tension begins to dissolve. Breathing deepens. Presence returns. You return to inhabiting your own flesh, and by doing so, you reconnect with the sacred that was never outside, just forgotten. If there's something this video came to remind you, it's this. Healing isn't outside of you. It vibrates in a spiral inside your own body, just waiting for you to stop suppressing and cross through the sacred portal that trembling offers. The trembling you were trained to ignore is the language that reconnects you to what you always were. When the body trembles, the portal opens. When the portal opens, God speaks. And now you know how to listen. If this content resonated with you, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This expands the field of knowledge we're building together. I want to know how you're feeling this reconnection. Write in the comments, I cross through the sacred portal of trembling. Healing vibrates in a spiral. This affirmation seals your presence on the path of embodied consciousness and activates the somatic intelligence that was always waiting for permission. Share this video with someone you know who needs to remember the power that dwells in their own body, someone who was trained to suppress what could have healed them. And don't stop here. Click on the screen and dive into another transformative video from the channel each portal crossed brings you closer to the reality you were born to manifest. Remember, when you give back to the body the right to vibrate, trembling stops being a symptom and reveals itself as passage. Healing isn't outside. It vibrates in a spiral inside you, just waiting for you to allow it.